Well, the IBEX is trading lower today after Spain had its credit rating reduced. Fitch cut it by one level to AA, plus it said the country's debt burden is likely to weigh on growth. Well, as Will Chamberlin reports, it was the culmination of several tough days for the country.
The week began with a merger announced between four of Spain's regional banks called cajas. The Bank of Spain is pushing for such deals, the idea being to stick together weaker lenders with stronger ones. But Spanish banks were some of the biggest losers when there was a sell-off in the financial markets at the start of last week. On Thursday, the Spanish parliament passed Prime Minister Zapatero's austerity measures only by the slimmest of margins. That's cast doubt on future reforms and budget cuts. Then on Friday, news broke of yet another merger of cajas, including Spain's second biggest savings bank. And it was after the markets had closed, Fitch dealt its blow, announcing a downgrade of Spain's credit rating by one step, saying the austerity measures will hurt the country's growth. And this likely will drive up already high borrowing costs for the country, keeping the pressure on this week.
Well, for a look at what the significance of the downgrade is for both Spain and the rest of Europe, let's now speak to our economics editor, David Tweed, who's on the ground in Madrid. David.
On the ground in the middle of the Puerta del Sol, Francine, the gateway to the sun, where the sun is shining brightly, but that's not the not what the government has got. The government is under a cloud at the moment, and from two different angles, one from the international community and also from the domestic community. First of all, the Prime Minister did get his austerity measures through last week by the narrowest of votes, by one vote, in fact, a pretty enormous sign of just how much he's lost his grip really on power here. And that is one of the big concerns going ahead. And of course then we had the Fitch downgrade on Friday. They've got a stable outlook, unlike Standard & Poor's, who've got a negative outlook for Spain. But both of these ratings agencies are concerned about the effect of the austerity measures on economic growth going forward.
Now, David, what sort of growth is Fitch actually predicting for Spain?
Well, for 2011, Fitch is looking at 0.5% expansion. Now, that is considerably less. In fact, it's more than half less the forecast of Elena Salgado. She's the finance minister here. She's looking at 2011 something like 1.3%. And if you look at 2012 and 2013, you see similar disparities. The ratings agencies are seeing much weaker growth compared with the fairly optimistic forecast coming from the government. And now that is a problem because the budget deficit goals are based on what could possibly be far too optimistic growth targets.
David, thank you so much for that. David Tweed, there, our economics editor.